became an international phenomenon before the over-the-top costumes, the controversial performances. Lady Gaga was the girl next door with a Catholic school upbringing. Born Stephanie Joanne Angelina Dromanata, she was raised in one of New York's wealthiest neighborhoods. Paris Hilton was her classmate. She studied classical piano from the time she was 4 years old. By the time she was in high school, she was writing songs and performing in the high school chorus. But she says she longed to break away from her strict Catholic upbringing. She found that freedom and her voice on stage in local nightclubs. Just a few years later, she said goodbye to Stephanie for good and hello to Lady Gaga. To be called?
Gaga.
Gaga.
Yeah.
So I don't have to say Lady Gaga.
No, I don't like that actually. I don't know why, but it feels so weird when people call me Lady.
Lady.
Yeah.
Okay.
So formal.
So Gaga.
Yeah.
And you believe your life right now?
No.
No.
I really feel so blessed, and every day I can't believe the amazing fans I have. I'm so lucky.
Yeah. Do you wake up and feel like, obviously, when you were creating this in your own mind, that's fascinating that you and James Cameron, you know, two visual artists are on in your own separate fields. But when you were creating this, you were doing it in a way that you wanted to express a part of you that needed to be expressed, obviously.
I've always been a really creative person and a very visual person, and something that some people don't always know about me is that I put a lot of thought behind all my performances. It's actually funny you bring up James Cameron because I've been talking about how I wanted to paint myself blue for a performance for the longest time, and everyone's like, no, you can't paint yourself blue, and I've been preparing to do it, and then Avatar came out. I told you!
Yes,
I know.
Great minds think things alike. So where does Gaga come from?
The Queen Song Radio Gaga. It was just a nickname that my friends had for me in New York and my producer, and it just kind of stuck with me. It was nice having a space for myself where I could feel safe and not feel like such a freak all the time.
So tell me this, when you first performed, I heard your father thought that you had lost your mind, right?
Yeah.
Because you had on, what were you wearing?
I was wearing a leopard G-string.
A leopard G-string.
At a nightclub with Lady Starlight, and we were wearing Indian headdresses, dancing to Run to the Hills by Iron Maiden.
And your father said?
He just thought I was completely nuts. He didn't get it, you know. And I don't know if I really got it. I just know I really wanted to do it, and I believed in it. And I think it was the nature of doing these sort of shock art, pop cultural commentary pieces that, like the VMA performance, for me, that was a commentary about Princess Diana and about being a martyr to fame and how she touched my life and my mother's life when I was so young. So in my own way, I don't even think people made that connection for that performance.
And then paparazzi, when you do paparazzi, that's some of the same thing.
Yes.
Yeah. So I just said to James Cameron, I'd like to be in his mind for 10 minutes. I'd like to be in yours for about 3.
Okay, let's see if she has those 3 minutes. I love it. I'd like to be in your mind for about 50 minutes.
Oh, thank you.
Sure, we all would.
So let's look at some of your headline-making, outrageous outfits that you designed. Tell us about this one.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's Alexander McQueen, and I added the hat to it. It's an archive. It's the oldest archive in the McQueen collection, and it was meant to be a continuation of the VMA performance. So after I, the princess, had been murdered by the paparazzi, the red lace was meant to symbolize sort of my eternal martyrdom.
And this?
Well, that's, well, that's Jean de Castelbanjac outfit, and I don't like to wear fur, so it was my way of making a comment about fur, because it looks like a bunch of dead Muppets.
Like a bunch of dead Muppets.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's the Queen. Well, I kind of wanted to do an homage to the Queen.
Yes.
So that was my Queen Elizabeth I outfit, but it's made out of latex, so it's still Gaga.
Still Gaga. So do you spend a lot of time thinking about it, or does it just come The outfits, the creative expression?
The inspiration comes naturally, but I put a lot of time and effort into everything I do, and to the point that I do nothing else. I mean, I wake up in the morning and I work creatively all day, and I'll feature things that I'm doing.
So what's a day like? You're thinking about...
I wake up in the morning and I get on my computer and I have files, lists of references, and I have reference boards with all of my materials on them. And I basically call the House of Gaga all day and argue with them about what I want to do while they tell me, you can't do that. And I say, yes, I can bleed to death on domestic television. That's what I want to do. So, for me, it's all about, being provocative is not just about getting people's attention. It's about really saying something that affects people in a real way, in a positive way.
Right.
So all the things that I do in terms of the fame and in terms of the fame monster, it's meant to sort of make it a bit easier to swallow this kind of horrific media world that we live in.
We'll have more with Lady Gaga when we come back. We'll be right back.